When Kari Lake stepped in front of the camera last week, people weren't talking about politics, they were shocked by her makeup. But the reason it went viral isn't just about eyeliner. Kari Lake, a former news anchor turned Republican political figure, has long been known for her assertive presence and strong opinions. But in recent weeks, she's gone viral not for her political stance or campaign speeches, but for something far more superficial: her makeup. While it might seem trivial at first glance, the online explosion surrounding her beauty choices has ignited discussions about media optics, outdated beauty standards, gendered expectations in politics, and how public figures, especially women, are scrutinized in the age of social media. From TikTok reactions to viral tweets and even commentary from professional makeup artists, the saga of Kari Lake's makeup has become a surprising cultural touchpoint. It all began with a now viral clip of Lake giving an interview during a campaign rally. While her speech was intended to address key political issues, viewers were quickly distracted by her heavy makeup. Social media users flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with screen grabs and close-ups of her look: bold, dark eyeshadow, overly contoured cheeks, and matte lipstick that many deemed harsh and outdated. The critiques poured in, many suggesting that her makeup style resembled trends from the early 2000s or even the 90s, rather than modern, subtle aesthetics. Makeup critiques aren't new in politics, especially for women. From Hillary Clinton's pantsuits to Aox red lipstick, female politicians are often judged not just for their policies but for their appearance. But Kari Lake's case was different in that it wasn't just about what she wore, it was about how out of step her makeup appeared with today's standards. Beauty professionals chimed in across platforms, pointing out the lack of blending, the harsh contour lines, and the absence of any modern highlighting technique. Memes quickly followed, with side-by-side comparisons of Lake's face and dated beauty tutorials from YouTube's early days. However, the commentary wasn't all malicious. Some users expressed sympathy, noting how women in the public eye are subjected to impossible beauty standards. Others argued that Lake's look may be a deliberate choice, an attempt to assert power, control, and defiance against the increasingly polished and media-trained appearances of her peers. After all, in politics, image is strategy. Could it be that Kari Lake knows exactly what she's doing? Several political analysts weighed in, drawing comparisons between Lake's aesthetic and that of conservative female anchors on right-leaning networks like Fox News. The glam conservative look, complete with thick lashes, dramatic eye makeup, and high-gloss hair, has been a staple in certain media circles for decades. In that context, Lake's makeup might not be a misstep but a branding choice that appeals to a specific demographic that values strength and boldness, even in makeup. Still, others suggested that Lake might simply be out of touch with evolving beauty norms. As Gen Z and younger millennials dominate the conversation around beauty, with trends leaning more toward minimalism, dewy finishes, and natural aesthetics, Lake's makeup comes across as a visual throwback. For these younger viewers, her look isn't just dated, it's jarring. As one TikTok user put it, she looks like she walked straight out of a 2005 makeup tutorial, and not in a nostalgic way. The viral nature of this topic speaks volumes about how tightly beauty and perception are interwoven, especially for women in high-stakes professions. A male politician appearing tired or unkempt might be interpreted as hard-working. A female politician, however, gets picked apart for every eyeliner wing or lipstick shade. The microscope on Kari Lake's makeup underscores this double standard and reveals how even the most inconsequential seeming details can become the internet's obsession. Meanwhile, the discourse surrounding Lake's look has sparked a secondary wave of videos and posts. Beauty influencers have recreated her makeup in parody tutorials, dissecting each element from the smoky shadow to the matte lip and offering fixes for a more current appearance. Others have created duets on TikTok, inserting themselves into her videos with exaggerated reactions or makeup commentary. YouTube channels have published long-form content analyzing the do's and don'ts based on Lake's viral moment. Even late-night talk shows briefly referenced it in their monologues, further cementing the story as a cultural moment. What makes this story particularly resonant is how it connects with broader themes of control, identity, and generational divide. Kari Lake represents a figure who straddles both media and politics, to worlds where presentation is everything. Her refusal or inability to evolve with contemporary beauty standards can be seen either as a bold stance against conformity or a sign of resistance to cultural shifts. Depending on whom you ask, she's either empowering or embarrassing, iconic or outdated, Interestingly, the makeup conversation also intersects with discussions about authenticity in political figures. In an era where voters are increasingly cynical about polished, overly manufactured personas, some might interpret Lake's throwback look as a sign of realness and unfiltered representation of who she is. To others, it feels like cosplay from a different political era, tone-deaf and distracting. From a branding standpoint, this episode may have unintended consequences. While it certainly boosted her visibility, it did so in a way that overshadowed her message. Instead of focusing on her policies or campaign goals, people are fixated on her eyeshadow. In a media environment where attention is currency, that may not be a bad thing. But in politics, substance still matters. If voters associate you more with a viral meme than a legislative agenda, that's a branding problem. Some supporters have leaned into the memeification, using it to rally around Lake and frame her as a victim of media bias and misogyny. Others worry it distracts from her political credibility. Still, the fact remains, her makeup has now become part of her public narrative. Whether she intended it or not, Kari Lake's look is now a symbol of what exactly depends on your perspective. At the same time, this incident opens the door to meaningful conversations about beauty standards in politics and media. Should female politicians be expected to keep up with every new contouring trend? Is it fair to judge someone's competence based on their foundation or lip color? What does it say about us that this is even a conversation at all? These questions point to a deeper cultural fixation on appearance, particularly for women, that goes beyond Kari Lake. In conclusion, Kari Lake's viral makeup moment isn't just a story about bad eyeliner or dated bronzer, it's a lens through which we can examine the complex intersection of beauty, politics, gender, and public perception. While the memes and mockery may fade, the underlying issues they expose are far more enduring. Whether seen as a strategic move, a stylistic blunder, or an emblem of resistance, one thing is clear: Kari Lake's face is now a canvas for a much bigger conversation.